You know, one particular subject that stays at the helm of the relationship slash dating slash marriage conversation world is cheating, right? Everybody wants to know why people cheat. And I think it's a logical question to ask, especially since it goes on in a lot of relationships. But I believe there's a better question to ask. I believe that we should be asking how could or why does one person cheat on someone that they claim to love in one relationship, then spend the next 20 years in a completely different one and be faithful? I mean, could it be guilt? Could it, could it be maturity? Could it be the fear of losing the right person? Or could it be one person? For the sake of tonight's conversation, let's talk about the man, because I am a man and my guest is a man, so why not stay with that? Has transformed into the man that he should have been all along. Logical thing to think of, I would think so, right? So tonight we're going to discuss that, and not only we're going to get to the bottom of it. We're going to dive into some experiences, some stories that hopefully may help you to answer the question from a man's perspective. I've received many letters and emails and phone calls about this particular subject this week because for those who were close to me knew it was coming, but I don't think they knew what we were going to talk about. So I want to give a disclaimer before we start this show. We are not here to excuse cheating. We actually here to understand it more in depth, right? Because I believe if we don't begin to understand the psychology behind infidelity, then we will spend our entire life trying to solve the wrong problem. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Confessional. Let's talk about it. Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of The Confessional, or This Could Get Ugly. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And this is the new extension that I started last week. So if you're sitting here wondering why it says episode 1 when it said episode 1 last week, well, due to some audio issues in which I believe this show has a certain level of excellence, we decided to take down that show and rebook that guest for another week because we definitely had some issues that couldn't be corrected in post. And when we have these type of discussions, I want everything clear and I want everything to be perfect for the listening audience. So this is the actual first episode of The Confessional. And I couldn't have picked a better guest to kick this back off with me because I had my brother Cornelius Lindsay on last week, but I have my brother, Mr. Andre Spence, on this week. Author, I think 3-time published, self-published, author, host of Love Crossing Borders with Andre and Andrea, my brother and sister. And something I'm going to call him that hasn't been called in a very long time, the Realionaire. Yes, he's in the building. So why not bring him in so we can get this discussion started? My brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's been long overdue.
Oh man, goodness gracious, man! I haven't been called the Realionaire in years.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I knew that would bring something back.
You reached back in the crates for that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. It is great to be here, Sean. Man, I am so proud of what you're doing, man. I'm encouraged. And I am just excited to be here on the official first episode of The Confessional. Because, when it comes to cheating, there are some things that I must confess.
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah. And I you know what? This particular subject, like I said, I've been getting calls all week because, of course, from the ladies, they want to know from a man's perspective why we cheat or why we have cheated in the past.
Right.
You know, because I'm not trying to hater. I'm a congratulator. So I love you, brother. And again, thanks for doing this for me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I I don't have nothing but love for you. You were the one that introduced me to podcasting, to going behind microphones.
Mhm.
I was already on stage speaking, but I never thought about going behind a microphone, on camera, subject matter, bouncing ideas off of others. Never thought about that until you introduced me to it right around 2011
Mhm.
with your podcast, and we had a great time, me, you, and Coach.
Mhm.
And shout out to her.
Yeah, we're
And
gonna have
to,
her on. We're gonna have
I
her
know,
on.
right?
She's discussing some real stuff in on her path, and I'm definitely gonna have her on later on in the show, as far as the confessional goes. But yeah, man, that's if we can pull up those archive episodes, my God, we used to have some hella discussions.
I still got some of those.
What'd you say?
I still got a few of those.
Oh, you still do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
sent them over to you.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate it. I would love to listen, man. I used to have them, but when you moving and your hard drive get misplaced and everything, you lose a lot, brother.
Yeah, I got a couple of them.
Yeah, yeah. So, man, how do you really start off a subject like this? Well, I tell you how you take a glass of this great scotch that a
Yes, sir.
person has bought for me in my life, and then I guess you just dive right into it, right?
Yes, sir.
So my question to you, Dre, first question out the gate. When you hear the word cheating, what immediately comes to mind for you?
Me. Me. You
Right.
want this is confessional, bro.
Okay, yeah,
Me.
for sure. For
The
sure.
first thing that comes to my mind is and shout out to Kendra in the audience. So she knows, Kendra knows of any woman that knows the truth without a doubt, and knows that the stories that I share
Mhm.
on our channel is to be true. It would be Kay. Shout out to Kay. Love you, miss you. And I would say it was me because I wasn't willing to admit who I was in the grand scheme of cheating.
Mhm.
You point the subconscious finger towards the other man or other woman. I'm not as bad as they are. Or
Mhm.
even if you're just not married yet, you're just a couple. I'm not as bad as her sister's husband. So
Mhm.
you kind of like are able to bounce around or dodgeball play. I think cheating I would compare it to dodgeball,
Mm.
because you're trying your best to be elusive, not to get hit, but you're not going to leave the game. You don't want to leave the game. You don't want to be eliminated. You know what the game is about. It's about, in the end, you'll get hit, you'll
Mhm.
get hurt, and yet you don't want to leave. You'll do all the dancing and the dodging. You could leave, but you're not. And that's what cheating reminds me of. It reminds me of the game of dodgeball.
I can see that. I can see that. And before I jump into the next question, um, shout out to Kendra as well. For those who don't know, Kendra is the mother of my beautiful, sassy daughter who looks exactly like me. And the reason I'm shouting her out is because if it wasn't for her, Dre and I would have never linked.
No.
She is the link that has brought Dre and I together, and I apologize to her all the time because we got together and we totally just kicked her out the picture.
We did. Sadly, I love you, Kay.
Yeah. We kicked her out the picture.
She introduced two Detroit brothers to each other, and I swear, one that got good hair and one that has no hair, and both of them look good in both ways.
Right.
Both of us are way over 6 feet family, and it was almost like meeting a kindred spirit, that missing brother that you didn't get a chance to meet. I still don't know which side of Detroit you're on, east side or west side.
I was on the east.
Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. That's another reason why we're kindred brothers.
Yeah.
And then once we got close, the closer we got, it was like the more kindred got kind of slid out of the equation. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate you.
Right.
You did God's will.
Right.
But I still love Kendra. She is a special lady to me. She is one of the few ladies that entered my life that was not in a form of physical intimacy or loving intimacy. It was a brother and sister relationship that we've always had. When people say that men and women can't be friends, I always think about me and Kay, and the if it wasn't for our friendship, I wouldn't have met you as my brother.
Absolutely.
And so there's no way I would ever say that a man and a woman cannot be friends without having some form of intimacy, because Kay and I are living proofs of that. And then to kind of like piggyback off the topic tonight,
Mhm.
one of the reasons Kay was like, is because she saw all the madness that I was doing. So she already knew that, don't ever think that, I'd be interested in Andre like that, because he's dastardly, So she understood, or at least saw, some of the things that I was doing,
Yeah.
uh, in that past Andre that was not, that was not a wise person back then.
Oh yeah, it's definitely like, but I'm a person that believes in giving people their props. So yeah, shout out to her.
Mhm.
But back to the next question after what you immediately see, because if you was to ask me, I would say the same thing, but we just travel different roads. I wouldn't dare throw you under the bus and say you probably was worse than me, because we all got skeletons that are buried. So
Man,
somewhere.
I don't know. I got graveyards and
Somewhere on the east side of
war
Detroit, right?
cross country, man. I'm talking about
Mhm.
cross. I was on flights cheating.
Yeah, I get it. My next question. So, for as far as cheating go, do you believe that it's always physical?
No,
Okay.
no, I've actually cheated on women because the other woman just gave me peace. The
Okay.
person back home was arguing, fussing, and just getting on my last. Not talk about my ex-wife, just in case you guys are wondering. My
Right.
ex-wife was a sweetheart, but I'm talking about I've been in relationships with women, and I've only been in 4 relationships, only had 1 bad one. But the one bad one that I did have,
Hmm.
uh, just so tempestuous in the house that there were times where I just sit in the driveway in the car for about 15 minutes, because I had to mentally prepare myself to go in the house. And that's when I knew it was over. And toward the end of the relationship, I started cheating emotionally. I
Mm,
didn't want intimacy from those ladies, but I would just go out to dinner just to have a good conversation,
right.
just to hear what that person's day was like without fussing and cussing and arguing. It had nothing. I dated plenty of women that, even if they wanted me intimately, I was so focused on the internal intimacy of just a good conversation. I didn't even think about the sex part that I could have had with them.
Hmm.
I was just so happy to have a conversation with somebody uh, that was peaceful, of a peaceful spirit. And so cheating doesn't necessarily have to be physical.
Yeah, it's crazy that you said that, because you don't have the blueprint. I actually have the blueprint right here. So you didn't even know I was about to go in this direction, because I was about to ask, can emotional cheating be just as damaging as physical cheating?
I would say yes.
Okay.
And I say it in 2 parts. Emotional cheating for the person who you're cheating on can be as damaging, because you find yourself pulling away from that person,
Hmm.
because you'll find yourself, so they're being damaged because they're wondering what's going on with you. You don't communicate the same. You're kind of aloof. You kind of standoffish. And then for you being in that relationship, you question yourself, like, why am I still here?
Mm,
These other people out here, there are other women out here. For example, we're just talking from the male perspective.
mhm,
There are other women out here that have a peaceful spirit that I'm not arguing with, that
mhm.
I'm not even sleeping. I'm sleeping with this person back home, and they don't understand or appreciate me. But yet, a person who I'm not being intimate with understands me, appreciates me more. And so you find yourself on, as the cheater, going through a tug of war, and the person is being cheated on going through a tug of war of what's going on with him. Okay, if he's not sleeping with somebody else, because he's still smashing me the same,
Mhm.
but I noticed something different about my man. What's going on? And that emotional cheating can be just as damaging or tempestuous to a relationship as physical cheating.
Yeah.
I would say most women that I know, and I'm talking about on a global basis,
Mhm.
they would rather that you would smash and dash than to have an emotional connection with another woman.
Yeah, I get
because that emotional connection they can't battle. That smash and dash they probably can get over. Okay, it was a 1-time or a 5-time. A
Mhm.
man being a man, you know, they'll psychologically use an excuse of men are, you know, Neanderthals. That's what they do.
Mhm.
But when it comes to the emotional part, that means that you were strategic. That means that you've disconnected from her and you've connected to another person. And that's what makes it a little bit more problematic for women and even men to accept in their spouse or in their special person
Right.
regarding that.
Right. So I would be safe to assume that's how the proverbial work wife gets
Yeah.
in.
Shout out to the work wives.
Yeah,
He-
the
all
work
the
wife,
husbands that I
the work
still
wives,
love.
exactly, that have ruined so many relationships. But thank God I work for myself. I don't have those problems. But anyway,
Love you. I still love y'all.
right. So I guess my next question to follow that one up, since emotional can be just as damaging, is at what point does someone actually cross the line? Does it start with the conversation, or does it go beyond that?
I would say you cross the line when you know better. When you
Okay.
first get that phone, come on, Sean. When I first get this chick phone number, I know better.
Right.
I'm cheating.
Right.
I ain't even made the first phone call yet. The fact that I walked up on this chick like, excuse me, miss, what's your name?
On some Chris
Where
Brown.
you from? Can I
Right,
come?
right.
Can like Luther? Can I take you out tonight to the movies? I'll have you home.
Right.
I'm drinking on. Somebody brought me. Shout out to one of the brothers brought me from Canada, the which I'd never tasted. And it is excellent. The blueberry Crown Royal
Oh, okay.
whiskey, man. It is blueberry and it is not too sweet and it is good.
Cheap plug. Cheap
Yeah,
plug.
yeah. Somebody asked me in the comments, Ace says, no, I'm a man supporting man. He say, Dre, what you drinking?
Yeah. Like I said, I know how I know how your tribe is, and like I said, I'm not ignoring them by all means. I'm going to bring them in exactly probably midway through the show to get some of their
Right.
perspective as well. And if in case you're wondering what I'm drinking on, the same person to ask, I'm drinking on a Scotch.
There you go.
I'm being bougie. Someone special brought it from Paris for me.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So I've been sipping. I'm damn near halfway through the bottle. This is some smooth stuff, brother. It's aged like 14 years.
I've got something like that, bruh.
Yeah.
The brothers, man. Do you know what I love about our family, Love Crossing Borders family? When these guys come down here to visit me from Colombia, they bring me things, man. Like one brother just brought me. I think I mentioned this the other day. Brought me a $5,000 box of rare 2017 cigars.
Oh, wow.
Each cigar is 10 cigars. So I'm thinking like each one of these cigars is a $500 smoke.
Wow.
And to sit back and guys bring me, we have so many rare liquors, man. One guy brought me a liquor from Germany, a big container, beautiful. And it had aged like 27 years. So brothers bring so many rare blessings, and it just let us know that we are a really good family here with the Love Crossing Borders. Really good guys.
Good, man. Yeah, I love your tribe, man. Your community, man. They are very supportive. If you haven't had a chance to listen to Love Crossing Borders, I encourage you from my page to go over there and support this brother. Dre is a workaholic. This brother is streaming, it seemed like, every day. Now, I haven't promised myself to get to that point yet, but I definitely appreciate his work ethic and what he does with the community. For those who are not aware, and I don't even know if I mentioned it, but Dre is in Colombia, Cali, Colombia.
Yep.
He left the States. I'm jealous as hell, right? But that's the only thing I'm jealous of. He left the States about 7-8 years ago. He left his brother behind for greener pastures. But like I told him in the beginning of the show, I couldn't have been. I'm very proud of what you have, the man you've become. Sis, when you see her, tell her I said hello, and I am coming down there to smoke one of those $500 cigars because it's a special occasion.
Oh, bro, I got you. I got you, El Guapo, a couple other guys, man. I'm sitting back thinking like, I mean, the box has like so many different puzzles on it. Like on the they give you the QR code, right? And then inside of the label, hidden with the microscope, are the QR codes to validate that this is not a duplicate, because this box of cigars is so rare
Mm.
that they are duplicates or fakes out there. And so there are YouTube channels dedicated to show you how to even look for if your box is original or if it's a duplicate. And
Wow.
so it's just really great. And shout out to, like I say, shout out to the brother that brought it down.
Okay.
And so I'm looking forward to kind of like smoking one of those and just enjoying it and smoking it with some of you guys, man.
Absolutely.
It's not a box to enjoy alone.
Absolutely. So let's jump into the psychology of infidelity. I mean, your story is no strangers to those who follow you. So this
Right.
next question I'm about to ask you is going to be just you just answering it because that's how real you've been when people ask. So my next question would be, why do people cheat even when they're in relationships with someone they genuinely love? Now, I asked you that fully knowing that you were married to someone that I am familiar with for a very, very long time.
Mhm.
And I would say that you loved her,
Oh yeah.
but I also know what was happening behind the scenes. So I think that question is a perfect question to ask, especially for the women listeners who are curious, because that's a question they would have. Like, he says he loves me, but he's smashing other women. What's
Right.
really going on in between the ears?
Uh, I would think it would be, for in my case, 14 years of marriage.
Mhm.
Let me say, Donna was the epitome of what Kevin Samuels was talking about: fit, feminine, friendly, supportive, submissive,
Mhm.
very soft spoken, very feminine. Anybody that knew Donna knew that she was a very ladylike woman. And anybody that knows me knows I'm attracted to, you know, ladylikeness.
Mhm.
And so it wasn't a situation of we were arguing or something. Even our divorce was cordial. We actually were laughing and giggling going into the divorce court and laughing and giggling walking out the divorce court.
Yeah.
And so it was, I can't say that I had a tempestuous marriage and, she wasn't putting out, I didn't have that.
Mhm.
Two people just grew apart because she had a direction that she was taking her life and dreams. I had a direction I was taking mine, and mine was not parallel to hers, and hers wasn't parallel to mine. So the divorce took place, but we're not bitter at each other at all.
Well, that's good.
However, the
Mhm.
topic is about the cheating part.
Right.
I just wanted to lay a foundation that she was an excellent wife,
Mhm.
but I was not an excellent husband. I don't think I never let go of my singleness.
Mm.
Though I had the ring on, I was good with the ring.
Mhm.
I was excellent. I could meet a babe. I could be like this, bam, in a minute, bam. You don't
What
see
what
the
you
ring.
what you used to call it back in the day? Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings. You see, I could get rid of the ring real quick,
Right.
holler at the female, and I
Right.
could throw the ring right back on within a millisecond.
Mhm.
That comes from many moons of taking the ring on, putting the ring off. So I spent so much time not knowing myself in regards to you're walking single even though you're married. So that's one thing that I noticed a lot of guys will do in their marriage or in their relationships. You still walk with an air of
Mhm.
singleness.
Mhm.
Number two, I didn't know what type of cheater I was.
You
I,
might
I
you might
thought
hold on, before you go into that, you might want to break down the different cheaters, because I have something to say to that. And it's funny you went there, but if you can break down one or two, because I'm sure,
I
like I said,
can.
this is game right here. This is
I,
game.
I thought I was a cheater like every other dude. Every once in a while, you have the occasional cheater.
Okay.
He's out and about. He might go. It's almost like Wesley Snipes and Angela Bassett in Waiting to Exhale, right?
Mhm.
They're at the hotel room. They're at a fundraiser. I mean, they're at a business event. Of course, they didn't cheat, but they could have.
Right, exactly.
And you have guys like that. They don't look for cheating. They don't look for cheating moments. They love their wife and kids back home. But if a moment pops up, they ain't gonna say no. So
Right,
you have the occasional cheater.
right.
You have the guy that is just out there. He don't care if she sees or not. He's probably even told her that this is who I am. If you love me, this is what you get. You get a
Mhm.
dude that, like Baby Boy said, to Roger. He said, I don't know why I cheat. He said, but I'm every once in a while I'm out here with these women, but I still love you. Remember that scene when they were on
Right.
the
I remember
stairs?
that scene. Right on the stairs.
You
Yeah.
got guys like that don't know why they do it. It's just a part of their DNA. They don't know how to control it, and they don't do it all the time. And they really feel responsible at home. They're the breadwinners and the fathers. But when it comes to them streets in a big button a smile, they don't know how to control themselves.
Right.
And then you had the guys like me who didn't know where they stood in the cheating dynamic. When all your other boys around you and they out there doing what they do, right? You think that you're doing it like you. I thought I was gonna be the occasional guy. I didn't think I was gonna be Dre the Ripper, tying up to the train tracks.
Right.
I didn't. Serious. If I had known what type of cheater I would have been, I would have never started.
I got you.
I wouldn't have never said. That's one of the reasons why I'm so faithful now, because I know what type of cheater I would be. For example, I often say, I don't know how to just have sex with a chick, smash, and keep on pushing. I'm one of them dudes that make love. So now the chick I'm cheating with, she in love, she at home crying, and all of a sudden my wife or my girlfriend get a call at home. That's what type of cheater I was.
I got you.
I'm caressing, I'm massaging. I got the best of Luther Vandross and silk.
You got the hella pillow talk going on. Pillow. Yeah, I got you.
I got Beauty Is Her Name by Drew Hill playing in the back. You know, I got the rose petal going down her spine. I'm doing too much. I'm going up. I'm flying. Dude, I'm flying to San Francisco. I'm flying to DC for the cool. I'm doing too much.
Right.
I didn't know what type of cheater I was. And so, the other part of cheating. So I realized that the problem with me cheating is I'm more like Michael Jackson said, I'm a lover, not a fighter. I'm sitting up here making love to chicks. I'm making it even worse. The worst dude that's cheater is a dude that's a lover. Right. The dude that can go out there and just meet a chick, take care of his business and push on, he don't get in trouble. It's us lover boys that get in trouble. Right. So I discovered that about myself. Secondly, I discovered about myself that I am not a guy that can have just one Oreo or one potato chip, one Pringle. In other words, I'm not going to cheat with one. I'm cheating with 51, 61. I'm all in three and all up. I probably, and guys have heard me say this. In my 14 years, I probably went through about 300 women. Easily. We're talking about making love. So you think you know to thyself be true. See, I could be true to myself now because before I didn't know if I opened up this Pandora's box, what type of problem would I be?
Yeah.
And once you open it up, you only find out how problematic you are by experience.
Yeah.
You don't realize that, dude, you are a plague. You are a troublemaker. You are not good for the community.
Right.
And so, because you saw your friends, he had one girl that he cheated with and they were together for 4 years. He had another girl he cheated with on his wife and they were together for 7 years. And him and the wife been together for 12 years. You see that among your boys, and so you think that's who you're gonna be.
Right.
So a lot of times the mistake that I see guys make when it comes to cheating, we don't know what type of cheater we're gonna end up being until we're in it. And B, we assume that I have my one little chick on the side and I can do what my boy did. He got one chick on the side, so I'll have one chick on the side. And you'll find out that you're not your boy.
Right.
And you may not get the results that your boy got. Your boy is still married, but you're divorced.
I get it.
You see what I'm going with that? So
no, I see. And here's the thing from my angle, because I don't want to be the one to just ask questions like I'm just such an angel. Right. So growing up on the east side of Detroit, and I even discussed this in the first episode last week. When you meet certain individuals who I don't want to say are fixtures in your life, but they may have a moment in your life to where what they're saying sounds so good that you want to try on this persona, right? I stay next door to, and this is a true story. y'all don't believe me. I swear to God, on everything I love, I can bring my mother in here and she remembers this dude. Next door to a pimp and a pastor. Both of them were brothers. Both of them stayed in duplex, one upstairs, one downstairs. Okay. Now, the whole cheating thing, of course, I got from the pimp.
Right.
Let me tell you how he broke it down to me. And when you look up the definition of cheating, because this is what I did prior to the show. I looked up the definition of cheating, right? And one of the things that stuck out to me was breaking rules for an unfair advantage. And I said, damn. I went back to the teaching that the pimp was giving me. So, ladies, here is some dude's reason for cheating: to gain an advantage. Now, you ask Sean, what type of advantage can you gain from cheating? I'm glad you asked. I'll be glad to tell you. For those who were given the game, they understand that when a woman catches you cheating, she don't automatically just throw you in the ain't shit box.
True.
What she does is she evaluates herself and then asks the one magical question that lets you know that you're in position. What's wrong with me?
Mm-hmm.
That's the advantage that you gain. It's an emotional and mental advantage that you gain if you understand, like Dre said, what type of cheater you are. Once you get a woman in a state of confusion about why you're cheating, then my brother, either you're going to open the floodgates and continue to cheat because she's going to continue to question, or you're going to be a real man and sit down and talk to her and say, I got a problem. And if you know you want to stick with me to fix it, then cool. If you don't, then cool. But I'm telling you, that is an angle. And if you don't believe me, there are some dudes out here. I don't know how small or how big the scale is for the dudes who, think that way. But there are some dudes out here that strictly cheat just to gain the advantage of emotional and mental control over you, because they know that the question you ask will have something to do with you and nothing to do with them.
True.
Now, Dre, am I lying?
100%.
Okay.
Even it's kind of funny that you would say this, Sean. I got a call from my ex-wife's, and I don't know if she knows this. She might be watching. I got a call from your boyfriend about probably like 3 years after our divorce. A guy that really was in love with Donna. And he said, man, I want to ask her to marry me, man. She's been driving me crazy with what you put her through. And it's kind of funny that you would kind of bring that up in the sense of she was so busy questioning herself about why Andre cheated, even years after, and questioning on her, not on me, not why did he do this? Was he on this? Was he ever loving me? No, it was questioning herself and questioning herself and questioning herself years after the divorce, years into a relationship that was stable, to where the questioning that she was asking herself was driving her new man crazy. And he called me. We just had two grown men conversation. And he was like, Drake, can I ask you something, bro? He said, because I really love her. He said, I'm thinking about buying a house. I'm thinking about doing this. He said, but I don't think I want to ask her now because she is so caught up on analyzing herself off of what you were doing that she can't see the blessing of life that's sitting in front of her right now. And I think that they kind of like separated. Because I don't keep a contact with my ex at all. I'm one of them dudes that's kind of like a cut off artist, right?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I get that.
And but it was kind of sad that the brothers, gave me that call and was saying like, man, she's still, like you were saying, Sean, doing that self-analyzation years later. I could see initially,
right,
or even when we were together, but to be with another man and still be over analyzing herself, it's kind of sad.
Yeah, it is sad. It's sad. And then I'm going to give you a bonus because these dudes exist as well. So I had to write it down because I didn't want to misrepresent what's about to be said, right? So I believe, this is my belief. This is Sean D. Upshaw belief, not Andre Spence, but he's more than welcome to agree if he wants to agree. I believe men, or certain men, simply just value the benefits of cheating more than the consequence of losing you as a woman.
I could say yes because that was me.
Okay, so here's the thing, and I'm gonna say this, and then I'm more than welcome. You're more than welcome to chime in. I was saying that one of the reasons I stand behind that particular statement is because I believe a lot of men understand, right, that for the most part, women who are heavily invested in relationships and marriages with them are more forgiving to a situation rather than being gun-ho about enforcing consequences for your cheating actions, right? I've grown to understand that for a lot of women, it takes really a list of indiscretions in order for them to reach a point of wanting something different. Now, we can go into a variety of reasons as to why, men cheat. But for me, I think why women often do things that way, as far as, accepting it, I say that for a lot of women, they would much rather fix the brokenness of a situation that they're in rather than taking a chance on starting over and possibly experiencing the same possible fate with someone new. Now, I believe that because we as people, in majority of cases, unfortunately take the hurt of an experience rather than the lesson of that experience. That's what keeps us in that situation. And it also keeps us from maintaining those boundaries, in my opinion. Now, what do you think about that? No, those are two different versions of cheating that I gave you from my perspective. What do you think?
I agree with the fact that there was a song that came out in the 70s, and it was an older lady singing to the younger lady.
Is this Barbara?
Lady, I don't know. I forget who the artist was.
Okay.
And the younger lady was singing to the younger mistress, and she was saying, you think my husband gonna leave me, blah, 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 blah. And the chorus was, she said, my man will never leave me because he will never find a better woman or a bigger fool. And that's what the chorus was about. He would never find a better woman or a bigger fool. And I would say there are a lot of women out there that feel that way. I don't care. SOS band. I don't care about those other girls. Just be good to me.
I got you.
Economically, physically, emotionally, family wise. If we can have legacy together, I don't care about those other girls. Just be good to me. So you're right. There are a plethora of women out there that say that I would never tolerate this and never tolerate that until they're in the midst of it and they realize, okay, if I leave my man, there is no guarantee that the next man won't be putting me through the same song and dance. So I might as well keep the man who I know. If he's a fool, if I'm gonna be a fool for somebody, let me be a fool for a man that I already love, not for a man that I don't even know, is going to be faithful to me in the future. And there are a lot of women that think like that.
Yeah.
And they also, the other thing that we haven't talked about when it comes to cheating is this. Women don't want to admit they love competition.
Oh, yeah.
There is a competitive side that let women know you ain't the only one that can get your man. You are not the only one that noticed that your man is 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". You are not the only one that notices your man ways that he walks, the baritone in his voice. You are not the only woman that notices his sense of humor, or the only one that notices his drive. And I think a lot of times with wives take for granted the things that attract them to their husbands or to their man is still attractive out there in the world. That thing that calls you to say, I got a good man, there are women in the rafters in the choir saying amen.
Right.
And I think a lot of women, that light turns back on, when they, that first year or two of marriage, they realize it. And then after 6 or 7 years of marriage, it kind of dims down and that light turns back on once the dude is cheated. And they're like, oh man, oh my God. So he's still sexy to other people. I forgot about his sex appeal. I forgot about his sense of humor. I forgot about his about those things that he does on a daily basis, mowing the lawn or making sure that the kids are taken care of and homework is done, that other women see that attractive too. And cheating sometimes, quite often, awakens that competitive side in women. I hate to say it like that, but it does happen. I notice a lot of women want to step their game up once they realize that there are other women that want your man. So, okay, be lazy if you want to.
Yeah. But, I would be remiss if I didn't mention this. Ladies, listen, although we're giving you different versions of the psychology behind why certain men cheat, I want you to know that there is another lower tier. And what me and Dre would call it, I know he would agree, these are just plain dumbass dudes. Yeah, these are just plain dumbass dudes who basically got in the game late. I think the psychological term you probably would use is called midlife crisis. But what happens is they begin to get a little money, get a little attention, start feeling themselves, and decide, hey, I got a good woman at home. Rather than, allow her to benefit from everything I worked hard for, why not jump into the game? What you don't realize that, brother, the men that were doing all the cheating back then, they're looking for the type of woman that you have right now that you about to step out on and be a damn fool. I'm just being real. That's exactly what happens. So those type do exist, and I will say that they do exist, and they are completely dumb. What do you got? I see you over there writing.
Yeah, I'm writing down the song. I had not found out for years.
Oh, okay.
Who the artist is, and one of the guys put down Elisa Myers. The song is called "Better Woman" or "Bigger Fool."
Okay, I got you.
And
just in case you want to look that up, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. And it's a really nice slow song, and she's talking to the younger woman. But you're right. There are some guys that go through midlife crisis. All of a sudden, they want to cheat.
Yeah.
There are guys that are getting attention for the first time. You went to you've been a big boy the whole marriage, 10 years deep. Yeah. You've been a big boy, and you decide, you know what? Your doctor told you, focus on your health. Get yourself on track. You say, I'm gonna do this for the love of my family. I love my family. Do it for the love of my family, right? So you say you're gonna do that. You lose the weight. You get a nice physique. And you did it initially for the love of self and the love of family. And then you discover that females are looking at you at 50 or 49 or 39 like, man, you looking delicioso. And so now you feed off into the ego side of, maybe I should go out here and do something. You wouldn't have done that when you were a big boy, or you wouldn't have done that when you were just making average wages, or you wouldn't have done that in the beginning of the marriage. But now that you feel like, do I still have it? Am I still attractive to today's society or social norms? And you put yourself out there into something, like I mentioned before. The hardest part that I noticed for me about cheating, Sean, is you don't know what type of cheater you're about to become.
Right.
And that's probably the biggest monster. Right now, Sean, in my life, I feel like David Banner with a poster of David Banner where you see David is like, or Dr. Banner is just like this little short dude compared to this gigantic Hulk that's looming about. That's how I feel about my life now when it comes to cheating.
I
know my Hulk. I know my David Banner. And I know that I am not a person that's like, I'm not a Captain America cheater. I am not just a Thor cheater. I am a Hulk the more I get out there, the worse I get.
Yeah.
And since I know that about myself, I know not to tap off into that. But a
Right.
lot of guys, like you were saying, just the guys that don't know what they're doing, they're out there and they're just doing it because they're just either missing the streets or they don't feel relevant at home. They feel like they're getting older, or if they've lost weight and they feel good about themselves, and so they use that as a catalyst to go out there and cheat. Just dirty dudes. There are some dudes that are just straight dirty about it.
Right.
They don't care about getting somebody pregnant. They don't care about bringing diseases to the house. They don't care about getting caught. They'll sit up there and have the side chick blowing up chicks blowing up their phone. They would rather spend time arguing with their wife or their girlfriend back home, and yet still go back out there in the streets. They have no couth about it. They just, they just some dirty dudes about it. And you're absolutely correct. There are some dudes that just have no
wherewithal what's going on. And listen, let me tell you something. For those who are going through the midlife crisis and decide that you want to play the good girl, I'm going to be real with you. We thank you. Because I'm going to be real with you. The dudes that have cheated and that has so-called messed over the good woman, that didn't think that they can get another good woman. Yeah, you know how that go. You know how they go. So to answer that question from earlier that I asked, how does one go from cheating in one relationship to completely faithful in another? I would have to say that man that has been cheating and for the reasons that we have gave you, then they found the one.
Yeah.
They found the one. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that nobody really wants to discuss, Dre, and I really want you to discuss, because I'm going to have you answer this, and then we're going to check into the chat just to see what the comments and questions, because like I said, I know how your community is. I don't want to ignore them. I want them to subscribe to the channel. As a matter of fact, let me give a call to action real quick. If you're in here and you haven't subscribed to the This Could Get Ugly page, the podcast or the confessional, whatever the case may be, it's all on the same page. I encourage you to do so, because we have subjects like this all the time in my calling in life, which is why Dre has been getting on me for the past 4 years about coming back, is recognizing patterns, putting it out there, and becoming better men. Fellas, if you're listening, I'm going to always stand on the mountaintop and scream, we are the head. Our mental matters because we are the ones leading. If you wonder why so much bullshit going on the internet and so many women talking this nonsense, it's because they don't believe in us no more. So they'd rather try to figure out their own nonsense, and this is the throw up that we've been given. I mean, this is the end result. This is what has happened. But I'm trying to come back now to right the ship. I'm trying to right the ship, Dre. I've asked God for forgiveness, and I ain't gonna even front to you. There has been, I had to do this, Dre, and a lot of men have been like, "You did that?" I have called women in my past and really had to apologize, because the breed of dog that I was cannot be defined. When your own mother pulls you to the side and says, "My guy, are you a gigolo or something?" Then you have a problem in life. Because my mother pulled me to the side and asked me that, "Are you a gigolo?" And I'm like, am I a gigolo? I really had to ask myself that. But here's the thing. I might have been a gigolo to the general public, but I'm a lover boy at heart. Right. I would prefer a woman that I can just be in her skin, who can be my partner in life. We can build. And my brother, I would be the first to admit, I have messed over a lot of good girls. But God has looked out for a brother. That's all I'm saying. God has looked out for a brother, and I promise I ain't making that same mistake twice.
No,
I'm not doing it.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. So if you ask that question, how can a man be unfaithful in one scenario and faithful in another? It's because mentally he has reached a level where he said, I don't want this no more. I want this, the straight and narrow. My legacy matters. That's the path that person is on. That's what happens. But the man has to make that decision to be on the path. There's nothing you can do as a woman to make him change.
No.
I've called Dre and enter him into many conversations when I told a young lady, there is nothing you can do to make a man accountable. Women cannot make men accountable. Only other men can make men accountable. That's why your circle is so important. That's why who you confide in is so important. And that's why I surround myself with brothers who are very protective of the sanctity of marriage, faithfulness, and just having a great partner. Because at the end of the day, when you get older and your mind catches up, you start to realize that a great woman can multiply you tenfold. And that's wife material. Any woman that can multiply you, that's a gift from me to you. That's game.
Yes, sir.
If a woman cannot multiply you, she's not a wife.
That's so true.
So that's where I'm gonna leave it at.
Well, I can
into these chats.
Yeah.
Let's see what people talking about. I've been seeing some let's see. You gotta excuse me because I don't be let's see. Would I share that to the stage? Comments to the stage?
No, you would go over and click on the actual comment.
Oh, click on the actual comment. Okay. Yeah, because see, this is all new for me, right? And the confessional, would that be tall, medium?
Like on that comment, on the actual comment, it should be an area where it says show comment right over the actual comment.
Okay. Yeah,
like you're in the section where it says show all comments on side. Yeah, but on the actual comments in the comment section, you click on that actual comment
and it'll pop up
on the screen. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna see if anybody have any questions. And y'all gotta excuse my inexperience because like when I do the podcast normally on Wednesday, I'm the one that's giving game and people say what they say, whether they like it or not. And that be that. But Dre is the streaming champion of the world.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to my brother E-Man Perry in the building.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. I gotta give him. That's what Dre does, right?
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. So he said the name of that song was Betty White.
And then another brother came along afterwards and said that it was actually Elisa Myers. And the title of it was Better Woman, Bigger Fool. Because I always thought it was a Betty White song too.
Okay.
So I'm with E-Man. But now when he says Alicia Myers, I'm like, you know what? That makes sense.
Okay. Let's see. We go here, right here. What is it? Shout out to the LCB family. Oh, love crossing borders.
Yes,
see, I am smart a little bit, right? Yeah, man. I appreciate your followers, man. Listen, they are a loyal bunch, and I see why. Because if you haven't had a chance to listen to one of Dre's stream, the dude is just downright hilarious. To hear from his perspective from a global standpoint, from being in Colombia now versus what's going on in the United States, brother, it's rough out here. I'm over in the U.S. It's rough out here. Believe me.
I'll tell you the opposite. Here in Colombia, it is when you live in a country that is the second in 2026 rankings. Number one country to cheat is Brazil, men and women.
Okay.
The number two country on the planet for cheating is Colombia. When you are surrounded by some of the most gorgeous Afro-Colombians and machista white Colombians and mixed Brazilians and Venezuelans, guys ask me all the time, you cheated in the States among those women. How on earth are you not cheating with some of the most beautiful women on the planet in South America? That goes back to when you know what type of Hulk is standing behind you. That goes back to you know, I know what type of person I will become if I'm like that. And is it worth it? I'm very happy with my marriage. I'm very happy with my wife. My wife is gorgeous, beautiful, ladylike, wonderful personality. Why would I throw that away for intimacy that I know that if I do it one time, dude, I know Dre. I'm going through 51 people or 51 women, in other words, in a 6-month window. I know me. So don't do something that you already know yourself. The second thing is, do you have time to do all that? Dre, you're trying to write other books and you're doing, this is the second interview I've done today. You're trying to, support other brothers in their up and coming endeavors. Do you really want to burn time out there on those other chicks? The other thing, which you can attest to, the lie face. Do I want to sit around, have a face full of lies that when I'm with Andrea, I know that my phone might buzz, or she thinking I'm here when I'm over at the Love Motel with this other chick? Do I really want to go through that dance again? Been there, done that. And so here in South America, yes, these women have flawless beauty. And I'm in the gym looking at women at 60 like, girl, you fine.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I always say this. I don't cheat, I dance. So I learned the salsa, bachata, merengue, cumbia. And so I like to dance. So beautiful women, I'll dance, and that's it. I dance. I'm not all in somebody's face. I'm not, yeah, baby, 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 baby. None of that. Because like you said, if you're a person that really appreciate good women, good relationships, I kid you not, man, it is hard in this world, the way you were saying about it is in the States. It's the same way in South America. It's hard to find a good woman. Sexy women, yes. Attractive women, yes. The good package that you need for your life, it's hard here in South America, just like it is in North America. Yeah. So when you get that person, you've been on that other side of being a cheater with the last person that you had, or the last, or while back, whatever it may be, you start to realize, man, if you don't sit your butt down, so now I'm on somebody's front porch on the rocking chair.
Right.
I done set my butt down on the close the fence. I got 3 pit bulls right there. I ain't going nowhere. And don't you bring that female come to my front gate, she gonna get bit by one of them pit bulls. Yeah. Leave me alone. I'm good.
Here's the thing though, Drake. I think and this comment right here, I stop right here because he said I get it, but I need him to break that down a little bit more. If you're still in the chat, I would ask that you say what do you need broken down just a little bit more, because I hate leaving people unclear. Now, here's what I will say. Fellas, there's going to come a time where you get into what I called legacy mode, right? And when in legacy mode, this is where partnership becomes very, very priority. Very, very priority. So listen, if you out here doing your thing, by all means, do what you do. But release the good women to the good brothers.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Because there are dudes that out here that want a good woman, want a good partner, and they want to grow old because, see, their vision is down the road now. You understand what I'm saying? That bullshit they used to tell us back in the day where, man, if you tell a woman how you really feel, you simping. No, we don't give a damn about simping. No, brother.
No.
If we care about you, we saying, hey, I love you, girl. I want you around.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
With no hesitancy.
With none at all. None at all. So, yeah. If that brother's still in the chat, I would appreciate if you would. So basically, it's just people just in here just verifying everything we saying, giving some information on basically like this one that was basically all women in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. I will say this when it comes to cheating. Ladies, the biggest mistake you can make, I'm going to be real with you. Stop trying to say, I want to love like my grandfather and my grandmother. Because I'm going to be totally real with you.
Come on now.
If you want to love like that, you got to be comfortable with having a family across the street, down the street, or on the other side of town.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to be real. Grandfather might have been good in front of you, but that fool had a whole nother family across the street, down the street, or across town. I've seen it with my own eyes as a little kid. I watched an uncle I've never met in my life show up one Christmas looking exactly like my grandfather, and only one person in there knew who he was, and guess who it was? My mama. And she like, this is your uncle. I'm like, holy crap. I haven't seen you in however many years I've been on this earth. But I'm just saying, we need to stop trying to compare eras and compare love, because that shit is individualized. Find what works for you and go down that path instead of trying to pattern after grandma or because you don't know what goes on behind those walls. I can even tell you, they're back in the day, grandpa just show up with a baby and be like, yeah, she don't want to take care of the baby no more, so you got to.
And the other thing is, ladies, and take this with a grain of salt, please, ladies. Don't assume that you're going to throw away a good man that cheated and you're going to come across, and it's easy to find another good man that doesn't cheat.
Mm-hmm.
You're needling in the haystack on a whole nother level of needles. It's like you're looking for needles in a barn and you find one, and then you're looking for a man that didn't cheat and he's a good man. That's like trying to find a needle in outer space, ladies. And I'm not saying that there aren't men such as Sean and I that don't cheat. See, Sean and I are guys that have learned lessons. That's the other thing, Sean, that we haven't discussed yet. The fact that one of the reasons why we're so solidified in ourselves, to ourselves, we're true. We know how dangerous we are if we head down that path.
Mm-hmm.
So to say that, like when women say once a cheater is always a cheater, I don't believe that. I believe in once a cheater, many of us, male and females, we learn from that and we try not to follow that pattern again.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times ladies make the mistake of, well, I'm leaving him, he cheated on me, blah, blah, blah. Ladies, there's no guarantee that you're about to find a good man that soon. It took you 30 years to find the one that you did find at 31 years old. Do you think that you actually going to walk back out there at 31, 32 years old and instantaneously find another good man? I'm not even talking about the cheating part. I'm just talking about the good man part. So you might want to add, I'm not saying stay with a cheater automatically, but what I'm saying is, ladies, you might want to go to counseling. You might want spiritual help. You might want to get him help. If you leave him, at least you exhausted all options. But don't just get mad and just leave your good man if he really is a good man. Because I'm going to tell you something. There are plenty of women out there that will look at you. That's all he did. Because I've been around the world, and I'm here to tell you, women in other countries do not think like American women. I'm going to say this again. Women in all you American women is like, I would rather be, I'm patting my weave. I would rather be by myself than be with him. I'm single by choice. All that sounds good as long as you stay in the States. Because I'm here to tell you, there are women in other countries that are like, this man took care of this, that. When my mother got sick, he paid all the bills. When my father needed an electric wheelchair, he paid for the electric wheelchair. This, that, this. If that man keeps those other ladies out my face, I have no problem with it. If he doesn't, as long as he don't bring no disease, as long as my family don't find out, and as long as he doesn't have some chick calling this house, what I don't see, don't hurt me. And that's how I'm gonna tell you something, ladies. That's how most women that are walking the planet feel. I have been to Europe and I know how these women talk. I have been all throughout South America. I know how these women talk. I know how Central American women talk. I'm letting you ladies know, American women, be independent you want to. It's cool, ladies, because y'all always say I'm single by choice, but I rarely hear y'all say y'all sexless by choice. In other words, y'all single, but y'all still letting us do what we do when we do it. Like a Jermaine Jackson. Why do you do what you do when you did? You see what I'm saying? We still out there doing that. But what I'm saying is, ladies, don't be so quick to throw away somebody that's good that you might be able to turn the ship around with. If you can't, okay, so be it. But if you can't turn it around, don't think that life is going to grant you another good man that fast.
Yeah. And I think to piggyback off what Dre is saying, I'm gonna break it down very clear. There are some men that are not salvageable.
No.
Those are the ones you throw out.
Yes.
Okay. Now we are not on here saying, girl, if he didn't cheated on you 56,000 times, you take it back. That is not what we're saying here.
No, not at all.
There are some men you just have to throw out because they are no good for you. Okay. What we're saying is if he made a mistake and he's thoroughly apologetic for it, and he has the action that follows the apology, then you might want to consider like, okay,
right,
I will give you another chance, but here are the boundaries, and here is what you have to do in order to gain the trust back. Because I have to be very clear with that, Dre, because I don't want to give out just any information, because that's the problem I feel is going on with a lot of these podcasts. They just say whatever, and that be that. This comment right here, I stuck right here because it was very, very important for me. I never cheated personally. I just leave. But for recovering cheaters, I'm sure it's a tough habit mentally wise to kick. It's probably an addiction like anything else. My brother, you are definitely on point. Cheating, I believe, is an addiction.
True.
And any man who wants to kick that addiction, it's a couple steps, ladies, that shows that man is ready. As much as people would tell you that counseling is bad, counseling is a step. If he's willing to sit down and talk about it, if he's willing to give you the inner depth of who he is and why he does what he does, you might want to just listen. Just listen. I'm not saying make a decision, but I'm saying just listen to weigh and see, okay, is this worth keeping? And here's the thing. Here's another thing, Dre, before I let you respond to that. Fellas, we in no way is me and Dre on this show talking about just men cheating, because these women are getting just as worse as us.
Come on.
I'm just of the belief that there's not a woman on this show currently right now. It's just me and Dre. Me and Dre can only give you a perspective from a man's perspective. Now, if we had a woman on here and she tell you, then we can, guess what? We can challenge her. She can give us some rebuttals, but we can't. So we just give it from a man's perspective. So don't go off thinking like, oh, this could get ugly and love crossing borders is just all about dogging men. No. That's not what it's about. We're trying to give you some insight into the minds of former cheaters that are now in a position to be straight monogamous because guess what? They found what they're looking for and they want to move forward with what they have.
Correct.
So I had to throw out that disclaimer, man.
I'm glad that you did. And that's the part of piggybacking with you that I kind of missed while you were talking. I was like, yeah, that's Sean and I on the old show, piggybacking off of each other. I come from a perspective, Sean kind of like reels all of us in. And when you said about the counseling, I remember when we went to counseling. Mm-hmm. First of all, the counselor looked like Santa Claus, right? He's got the white beard, the whole Santa hookup.
Right.
First thing he said, Sean, give her your cell phone. Huh? Give her what?
Right.
Man, I would rather have given her another diamond ring at that moment than to give her give her what? Man, my heart, I'm sweating. I am ready to throw the cell phone out the window. And she says, I don't want to see your cell phone. I don't want to see it. Because she had already had enough calls from ladies. Mm-hmm. I remember one time she had a 2-hour phone call from a gorgeous sister from Baltimore. And this sister was in love. She worked for CNN, very professional, very ladylike. She was Black and Irish. Sean, just gorgeous sister with the freckles and you could see all the Irish and you could see all the Black. And she just was flawless beauty and had her own home in DC and just in B more and just doing her thing, right? And I remember when I left her because she started crying. Why? Here I go, not realizing at the time what type of cheater I am.
Mhm.
And so I'm not realizing that I'm the lover type of cheater. So these women are falling in love. I mean, good women. I'm not the guy that cheated with Aisha, LaQuanda, and them from the hood, right? That wasn't me. It was usually Miss Corporate this, Miss MBA that,
Mhm.
Miss PhD this. That's this who I'm out there with, right? Or a woman that works in this department of our company or our college that we work for, or that department. And so this woman was an editor for CNN.
Mhm.
And when I broke up with her, dude, I broke up with her because she started crying during intimacy. We're intimate, and she stopped and she grabbed me by the neck and held on so tight and cried and cried and cried. Don't never leave me. Don't you never know. I'm like, that must have been a good orgasm. Don't you ever leave me. Don't you never ever. I was like, Dre, you doing too much. You flying all the way out to be more. And now and somehow, some way, her because her best friend was a police officer, they did an investigation on my last name.
Mm.
He's Indiana. All of a sudden, I get a call from my ex-wife at work.
Mm.
She says, and I knew you and Kendra at this time period. She says, I think you need to come home. I said, what's going on? I just got a call from your girlfriend in Baltimore. Nope. And she says, yeah, we just been on the phone for 2 hours. 2 hours? And so you realize that you're impacting some really good people selfishly with your cheat. I don't even condone cheating with women that you consider just regular everyday hood chicks.
Mm.
But when you're cheating and hurting the hearts of some really quality women, I mean, I was with some quality women breaking their hearts. And you start to realize, like, man, am I really, is it really worth doing all this? So even when I went to counseling, I was like, it's time. It was like the charade is up.
Mhm.
I felt like a guy that robbed 30 banks and I finally got caught.
Right.
The charade is up. Everybody knows it's you, Dre. You're the Billy the Kid of this scenario. And I had to admit to myself. And so the therapy helped a little bit.
Mhm.
It helped the most when I went to therapy by myself.
Right.
When I went with her, it didn't really gel because I was so busy trying not to get caught, right? When he said, give your cell phone. After he said that, I ain't hear nothing else he said.
Right.
In every therapy session, I was like, dog, all I know is that you're going to threaten my cell phone again.
Right.
So I'm in therapy lying.
Yeah, I will say that now, ladies and fellas, if you're gonna go to therapy, that shit doesn't matter if you're not gonna be truthful.
Right.
That shit is
Right.
not gonna matter if you're not gonna be truthful. If you're gonna explore therapy, it's not gonna be healthy if you're not truthful. And I'll take it a step further. If you're in a situation right now where everything is good with a person that you're dealing with, encourage therapy. Encourage therapy.
Yep.
Therapy is just not something that you just show up to when there's a problem. It's something that you can show up to prevent future problems. And I'm gonna be real with you, Dre, man. Like, I'm at a different stage in life mentally. Um, none of this shit impresses me. Other women, um, beauty, none of that shit impresses like it did years ago.
Right. Right. I'm with you on that.
When you find someone that you know has your back at a capacity of 1,000%, and like I said, is invested in multiplying who you are as an individual, brother, tunnel vision. Tunnel vision. What did I tell you? I don't even know if you told sis this before. You remember you called me and asked me about sis, like, well, what do I do in this situation? I said, brother, whatever you do, don't do this. Yeah, you remember that? I said, brother, you got a good one. She will go to the ends of the earth with you and beyond. But do not do this.
You
And I
did.
swear to God, Dre took that advice, and that brother has been married. What is this? 8 years?
8, yeah.
8 years.
And I'll tell you this. You know who gave me the exact same advice?
Who?
Donna, my ex-wife.
Mm,
Donna said, don't F it up.
right.
She said, do you really love her? And she said it like right after you had said, like a couple months after you said it. So it was almost like a confirmation. And then my sister would call me periodically, Andre, you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. You know what I'm talking about. Don't play with me, boy. You good? You down there good, being good in Colombia? You ain't putting nobody, in other words, because the first person that called me, Sean,
Mm-hmm.
after, and the guys in the comments kind of know this. When Donna and I sat down at the kitchen table, we had the kitchen table, turn the plate over type of conversation.
Mm-hmm.
We knew that the counseling wasn't working. We knew that I went to counseling for myself after divorce because I wanted to do some self-cleaning after divorce. And that was excellent. Going to church, we were so busy putting the facade on of the Spences that we couldn't even be vulnerable to God together.
Mm-hmm.
We were just putting on a facade again. Everything was just about looking the part.
Mm-hmm.
And so we sat down at the kitchen table and we had a conversation. And she said, do you think we need to? I said, yes, we need a divorce. I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of cheating. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. This is exhausting. And I had to encourage, and I had to encourage her that it wasn't her. Didn't matter. Today I got the black cowboy hat on. I'm the villain.
Yeah.
So no matter what I said, I'm the villain. First phone call I get, not even 5 minutes after we get up from the kitchen table, it's Candy, my sister.
Mm-hmm.
And she sounded demonic. Get out of her house. I say, what? Now, this is my house. Get out of her house. I cannot believe you're my brother. Da, 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 da. So fast forward to today,
Mm-hmm.
Candy hasn't given me that call in a while, but the first few years, it was you that stayed in my mind for years. The encouragement that you gave me, Dre, listen. Then a few months later, what Donna said, don't F it up. And then Candy's calls like periodically, like, you good?
Mm-hmm.
And every time I try to pretend like I know what she was talking about, don't play with me, Dre the Ripper. Are you good?
Yeah.
And eventually Candy realized, okay, that's a new brother who I'm talking to. That's not Andre of his marriage. The counseling did help when I went by myself. So a lot of times guys make the mistake of, and I'm just saying this to you guys being honest.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we think that if the counseling as a couple doesn't work, that we should go to counseling altogether. Just because the coupling counseling didn't work for me, when I went to counseling by myself and I discovered addictive behaviors that ran through my family, and it could be this type of addiction or that type of addiction, and that has always run through the thread of my family. And I started to realize, like, whoa, it's not just you're out there cheating, having fun. No, Dre, the reason why you go through so many, because your family lineage, anytime they grasp onto something, whether it be a workaholic, whether it be a person that's addicted to a drug or alcohol, in your family, it runs to an extreme. And even with cheating, that addiction runs to an extreme. And so when I discovered that through or going by myself to counseling, as well as other things, it helped me out way more than just going as a couple to counseling. So that's what I want to encourage guys with that too.
Yeah. So for those who are unaware of what my show talks about on Wednesdays, I actually I break down certain topics in arcs. And the reason I call them arcs is because, I mean, Noah's Ark in the Bible.
Right.
So, I mean, you know what it is. But this particular arc, I talked about the family roots of how we respond to certain situations. And I think this particular topic definitely does deserve an evaluation of what you came up in that's leading you to what you're doing right now. And I'm going to be real with you. Until you address that, nothing will ever work out for you.
Right.
Nothing will ever work out for you because you need to know what triggers this particular behavior. For example, and this is why I hate having shows with you, because a lot of people don't understand. These are the type of conversations that we have behind the scenes where nobody knows. But I'm going to give you a prime example of how this happens. Family roots. I had a father, non-existent. I didn't have a father there to pat me on the back and say, you're doing a good job. You know, the first person that said, Sean, you're doing a good job, it was a woman. And it was a woman that I was just so happened to be drilling to a mattress. You're doing a good job. So me not addressing the family roots, say, hey, if I'm drilling her to the mattress and she's giving me a pat on the back, what happens when I start drilling other women to the mattress? Do I get an extra pat on the back? That's exactly what happened. And it became a point where women, and I swear to God, this happened to me. Women became faceless to me. Like, I know you're physically there, but I don't know you. Like of course I know you good looking, but because that's what's going to attract me. But I don't want to know nothing outside of this 15 minutes of fame that I'm about to give you. I didn't understand the stages of intimacy. I didn't understand the stages of getting to know a woman. I didn't understand any of that. All I understood was seeking validation and getting a pat on the back for something that someone finally told me I was good at, because nobody else ever told me I was good at it. So when we talk about the psychology of cheating, this shit goes deep.
Yes.
It goes deep. And for men, I'm going to be real with you. A lot of them won't admit it, and that's cool. I'll admit it for you. When there are missing voids in our life, we go searching for those missing voids in whatever accepts us at that particular time. And if we don't evaluate what that specific void is and we don't correct it, then it's going to be a continuous behavior versus what needs to happen, which is us stepping up as men and really embracing the women who want the partnership, who want to build, who see a future with us. Because one thing we never take in consideration as men, and I hate to put it this vulgar, but it is what it is. Your dick gonna stop working at one point or another.
When? What?
I'm just saying. Although they got all this stuff out here, at 80, you ain't gonna want to pop that shit with your heart medication. I'm just saying, big dog.
Oh, that's true. That's
you're gonna want to have.
I agree.
You're gonna want to sit on a porch with a woman and have a legitimate conversation about life and everything involved with life.
True.
I'm just being real. That's true. That's all I can be at this point, Dre.
You know what? When you said, first of all, the heart medication, I have to agree. So that's true. But I also have to agree even more because I have that type of relationship with my wife. Andre and I have such a intellectual relationship, such a spiritual connection, dude, relationship that more than anything would cause me to say, sit my butt down somewhere. There is such a connection that I feel like if I was in them streets for real, I would lose that connection just by all the lies that are bottled up inside of me. I will find so many lies that are bottled up inside of me that I would sit back and make a mistake of not being able to be as transparent. Like when guys see Andre and I on the show together on the live stream, they can tell that that's real love. There is no when the cameras go off, we go about our separate ways, or when the cameras go off, Andre go in another room and I'm texting some chick.
Right.
It feels good to know that when we come on camera and we got our mics together, we're genuine. That's real Andre and Andrea. There is no fake. There is no phony. When she's smiling, it's real. When I'm smiling, it's real. So just like you said, and notice I said nothing about the intimacy part. These are all the things that you're going to want when you're in your 70s and 80s, that type of connection, real smiles, genuine conversation, genuine laughter, genuine agreements and disagreements. In our 8 years together, man, we've never had a argument. We've had disagreements, but this is the first relationship I've never had a rah-rah argument of any particular vocal tone. If we have a disagreement, we discuss it and why we're having that disagreement. And if it makes both of us feel comfortable because nobody yelled at each other, to admit, you know what, you're right, I was wrong. Right. And she'll say, you know what, babe, I see where you're coming from. My apologies, I was wrong.
Right.
And so because there's no rah-rah in our, and people say, you tell them you ain't never had no argument with your wife in 8 years. 8 years, not one argument.
You know why though?
Yes. Say that again, Sean.
You know why? I think that y'all haven't had any real arguments because you was upfront about who you are. The freedom to be to speak on a former Dre and actually be a present Dre is something that Andrea can appreciate.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You understand what I'm saying? Because she's a different breed. Let's be real. Sis is a different breed. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And my thing for you is I'm happy that you found that, because it's a lot of dudes that don't get a second chance, let alone a third or fourth or fifth when it comes to having good women after experiencing a lifestyle of infidelity. You've been blessed to find it, and I'm happy to say I've been blessed to find it.
Amen. That's right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Which is why we can have this type of show, because here's the thing. The young lady that I'm dealing with at this particular time, she knew exactly what was going to be said on this show. She knew exactly what was going to be said on the show. But at the end of the day, it was more of an encouragement to let people know who I was versus, no, you should hide that. You shouldn't talk about that.
No.
Because guess what? She's more happy with who I am now versus who I was before. So why not express and not be a beacon of light to other men who want to jump out there but are, I ain't gonna say fearful because that's a bad word, who are just maybe confused on like balancing it. Because here's the thing, this is why you got to surround yourself with the right people. If you don't have the right people, it's always an imbalance. Well, damn, do I impress this group who's impressed by the player that I am, or do I impress this group who puts a priority on monogamy and partnership and things of that nature? I'm 45 years old. I would rather my girl be proud of me than some random dudes be celebrating my ignorance of cheating and doing that other stupid stuff that really didn't benefit me in the long run in no kind of way. Because one thing I learned, while them fools was encouraging my ignorance, guess what they were doing? Being in the same type of relationship that I wanted to be in.
Right.
You see how that work out?
Right. I get guys down here. Let me make sure I give shout outs to some guys.
Yeah, go ahead, man. I don't want to take that because, like I said, I know how your community very supportive. Give shout outs to them brothers, man. I appreciate you for joining.
Make sure you go to and hit the super chats. Go to the area where it says live and then it says started.
Let's see, live and started.
You're in the comments, and then it says live and started. And there are some super chats over there. 2 guys, one blue, one
hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
And click on that.
Okay.
Shout out to my brother Black Newbie. Them Canadian brothers in the building, always showing love.
I told this guy where I was from. He said, "Oh, Canada."
Shout out to you being here, and our brother Alexis, my dude. Hope everything's going great with you, brother. Them Texas boys doing what you do. Shout out to you, brother.
Appreciate you supporting the channel. I haven't reached the level of that, Dre. So yeah, like I said, I'm learning. This is good stuff. So this is how you do it, huh? Okay.
Yes, sir. And then you click back over to the live part, and they'll take you
Okay.
back to the other comments.
Okay. So yeah, I fell on this comment. I'm reading the comments as we were talking, and Corporal, man, he's been spending some game. I've been watching him throughout the chat, just being very interactive with us, and I appreciate you, brother, for joining us. He said, I believe that men must treat their women well. However, I know exactly what you mean by faithless women, and it took me time to learn how to get that discipline. Hey, brother, trust me. I understand exactly what you're saying, but discipline is the operative word that we as men need to focus on, because that's what it ultimately comes down to. If you want some game, here's some game. Women want to be protected, right? They say this all the time. I hear them say it all the time, online, offline, whatever the case may be. The best way to protect a woman as a man is to incorporate discipline in your life.
True.
If any woman tells you opposite, that woman don't know is what the hell she talking about. She don't even know herself. Period. I'm just gonna throw that out there. But the best way a man can protect a woman is by incorporating discipline in his life. If you don't believe me, I don't know what to tell you. Discipline is what keeps him from cheating. Discipline is what prevents conversations like this. Discipline is what helps you to grow with him. I'm just gonna be real. It's an everyday choice to wake up and make a decision that this is my person, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make this situation flourish. Dre, am I talking shit or am I being real?
It's so, discipline is so important in a relationship that you start to see the real you once you introduce yourself to the disciplined you. Mm-hmm. Whether it be with starting a business, whether it be writing a book, whether it be doing a podcast, you are introduced to the real you and the you with all the potential, the you with all the skills. And when it comes to relationship, it's the same thing through disciplines. Yes, you have the ability to be out there. Yes, you're attractive. Yes, your money is flowing. Yes, you have the right height, right look, and everything. But that discipline says, even though I have all this that a woman would want, mm-hmm. I know how I have the ability to sit back and analyze a situation. I am a real man of rationality and a man that knows how to analyze the circumstances. And discipline tells you this: I know how this gonna work out. Yeah. I know the end. See, men that aren't disciplined try to pretend like we don't know the end, how this is gonna work out in the end. Yeah, I'm gonna get caught. Yeah, I'm gonna get caught. It may not be this particular chick. It might be a chick a couple of years down the line. Discipline tells you, bro, you know you're gonna get caught. And you admit to yourself, you have no problem admitting, you know what? Now since I know I'm going to get caught, is it worth it? Right. I've had guys, Sean, that come down here to Colombia, and they've said to me, I mean, good dudes, mm-hmm. and well-meaning dudes, they've said to me that if we see you with a chick, Dre, you know, you a dude, man, we ain't tripping, dog. We ain't tripping. If we see you with another chick, we ain't tripping like that, dog. You know, you're a man. Mm-hmm. One of the reasons why I'm so disciplined and happy in my relationship, I've grown, Sean, over 8 years of doing content creator being a content creator and talking to these brothers and myself over the phone and praying with each other. Mm-hmm. I now can't take disappointing my brothers who I built a relationship with. Right. So if you notice now, most of my conversation has very little to do with my wife. Mm-hmm. I don't put the weight of my faithfulness on her. Before, I thought that if I love a person enough, if I love this person or that person enough, that will be enough. Like, you know, Sonny and Cher, love will keep us, like Captain and Tennille, love will keep us together. Mm-hmm. But no, I realize by being an ex-cheater. You can love somebody, but that doesn't mean that's going to keep you together.
No.
And so I realized that take the weight of responsibility for my faithfulness off of that person and put it on me.
Right.
Buck stops here with everything else when it comes to bills and taking care of the kids and the bumps in the night. If I hear something go bump in the night, I'll give you a perfect example, Sean. The other night, Andrea can sleep, and she doesn't notice this I've never told her this. Andrea can sleep a solid sleep. Any small sound, I'm like this. That's being a man.
Right.
I can hear a house creaking. I can hear water that didn't get turned off all the way to faucet. You hear everything because you as a man are programmed for those disciplines. So it is also if you are alert enough to notice the slightest sound in your house at night, how is it that you're not alert enough to notice this is not going to work out if I cheat?
Right.
I don't think us men who cheat are as stupid as we play to be.
No, hell no.
And that's what my point is. I think we cheat and we know how it's going to end sometime. And yet we're willing to lose everything in the name of that particular cheat. And once again, guys, don't think we're coming at men. We just so happen to be talking about, we're in the barbershop right now, gentlemen. But we know statistically, even in Colombia, women are out there just as bad, if not more, than men. But like we always say, stick to the topic. So tonight's topic is about us gentlemen.
Yeah, so I'm gonna address something that I know a lot of women have brought up to me about the so-called 80-20 rule, right? Where in those who are not familiar, that says that in most cases you're gonna find only 80% of what you need from that person. But why do we focus on the 20? And maybe that might be the cause of why cheating goes on, right? Because you're seeking the 20 but leaving the 80 behind. What do you say behind that?
I agree with you 100%. I've seen guys with some of the here in South America cheat on some of the most gorgeous. There's a saying that I've heard way back in the day, and it still holds true. If you ever want to see a woman that's been cheated on, look for a gorgeous woman. If you ever want to see a woman that has been cheated on, and in many cases, way more than one time,
right?
Look for a physically highly attractive woman and just put the mic in her hand and let her talk.
Well, you know the States version of that, right?
What is it?
The old player would tell you, show me a fine sister, and I'll show you a man that's tired of fucking her.
Right.
Right. I've heard that so many times. And I didn't understand it until I got older. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy. That's a crazy way to look at that one.
Not that one.
Right. I think what often happens, I'm gonna be real with you. And I had this conversation the other day with my person, and she said, why do you think men hide the cheating aspect of everything? And I just straight up real, like, you have to understand that there are some men out here that will rather take the decision from you versus be real about who they are and give you the decision to make about them.
So true. I was like, we talked about this on the show the other day, Sean, about you know what's so crazy, Sean? Do you know how much cheating coochie I got when I stopped taking off this ring? When I was giving women the choice, and we talked about this on the show, I got more women that dropped their panties when they said, because you were truthful, and the panties dropped.
No, I get that.
I don't know. I was one of those guys that thought, women didn't understand. I'm going to try to be slick with it, so forth and so forth. And then I discovered that women just It's not that you had a wife.
Mhm.
It's the fact that you took away my choice of whether I want to be with you or not. I heard that one so many times. And when I stopped taking away a woman's choice to be with me or not as a cheater, the irony was most wanted to cheat with me, but they
Right.
wanted the right to make the choice themselves.
Mhm.
And a lot of times, and I'm not saying go out there and just be honest and just be cheating, and the world's open to cheat. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that you're absolutely correct. A lot of times, yeah, sexy boo. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
So here's the thing, Dre. Um, I know you, like I said, you are the king of live streaming. You can go 4 or 5 hours, brother. we're, we're streaming this, but what I want to do right now, because I don't want this show to cut off, and I would be ashamed to admit I am a brother that did not charge his computer.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I have made that, but see, this is the part that makes me a man, just being accountable for my mistakes. And I'm going to cheat you guys right now by saying, listen, I have to cut this show short. Not saying that my brother is going anywhere anytime soon, because we can always bring him on, but I am going to ask him one last question, because we have
There we go.
because I don't want it to cut off in any shape, form, or fashion when it comes to delivering this type of content. My last question to you is, can trust ever be restored 100% after cheating?
No. You'll get 80%, you'll get 70%, you'll get enough to keep the relationship going, you'll get enough to where she can forgive you and move forward. And the reason why I say this, and I mean this for a man or a woman, we are humans.
Mm-hmm.
I think only God can forgive 100% with clarity,
Mm-hmm.
without it coming back in their minds in 3 months, 3 years. All of a sudden, she thought what she forgave, and all of a sudden, something that she sees clicks, and all of a sudden, you're wondering 4 years later why she's changed, or why she's a little different, and why Sean's Wi-Fi went out. I'm still here, so we gonna rock and roll, fellas. As long as your boy Dre's still here, and maybe that just might be me, but at the end of the day, do realize that only God can forgive somebody 100%. I don't think a man can forgive somebody 100% in almost in a forgettable way. And I don't think a woman can. Can you guys still see me? Put a 1 in the comment section if you guys can still see me. Put a 1 in the comment section if you guys can still see your boy Dre. Hey, we gonna rock and roll, a man supporting man. There we go. All right. Shout out to our brother Sean D. Upshaw. You know how we do. We have no problem with hijacking channels. This is not the first channel we've hijacked. You guys are my co-conspirators. This won't be the last channel that we hijack. You know how we do it, fellas. This is a takeover. Call it piracy if you want to. I'll put the patch on for us all. But at the end of the day, shout out to our brother Sean D. Upshaw, because this is an excellent, excellent topic. And I kid you not. Shout out to Kendra. Kendra say, I'm still here. But at the end of the day, guys, do remember this. It is, and we're going to keep rolling until Sean comes back. He can charge his computer, or if you will, but we're going to be here because you know how we do. Can a person, thank you, sexy boo. Oh, that's good. That is good. Sean D. Upshaw is back.
Listen, I am back, but I am not at I am not in the studio portion of it, but I am back.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Like I said, I apologize for that. I did not know I didn't charge my computer, but I didn't want to let this show go by without at least ending it in the proper way. And I see that you were holding it down as I logged back in. Yeah, man. Like I said, you the king of stream, man. You go 4 or 5 hours.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, my longest show probably go 1 hour and 20 minutes, but this is one of those topics that, I mean, I could have I known it was gonna go 2 hours. 2 hours is my cap, but I made a mistake. I apologize, fellas, ladies.
There you go. Take accountability.
Right, exactly. Exactly. But I'm back, man. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for holding me down, Dre, man. Like I said, man, I appreciate you, brother, man. This topic has been phenomenal. Just a way to just kick off the first episode of the Confessional.
Yeah.
And you know what it is intended to represent, which is bringing brothers and sisters on in this particular space of personal development, family dynamics, dating, relationships, and marriages, and speaking from a real perspective on what needs to be done in order to improve it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my final words for you is shout out to the audience, shout out to you, and finally making it back to the podcasting and YouTubing space, man. You and the type of content in which you present has always been needed, man. You were light years ahead of, I would easily say, Sean, I mean this, and I'm not just saying it flippantly. You were you were probably light years ahead of, I would say, 80% of Black YouTubers, male and females. You were way ahead. It was nerdy or not known for Blacks to be on YouTube or podcasting. Just in the podcasting space itself, when the stats, when you were podcasting, there were only in the United States less than 30,000. I was about to say 50, but the stats were 30,000 podcasts in the whole country. Nobody was podcasting. It was not the in thing. It was not popular among anybody. And it, especially among Black people, to have Black people on the microphones together, male and female, that's another groundbreaker. At that time period, you were doing this before there was a O'Shea, before there was a Tailor Made Dreams, before there was any of these content creators that we all know and love. You were doing this way when it was not the cool thing to do as a Black person. Yeah. And so I want to make sure that the guys realize, whenever I say my mentor, my brother, my friend, they really know who it is, who I'm talking about, because none of this would have taken place if it wasn't for you. On this particular topic, I want to end with this. I want to let men and women know, just like it's hard, but there is life after separations of relationships and life moves on for you. I want to let men who have cheated and women who have cheated before know there is life after cheating. And no, you do not have to be a lifetime cheater. Yes, you will be tempted for life. Even the Bible says the eyes of a man is never full. But that doesn't mean that you'll meet the right person, but yet you'll be out there cheating. I just want to let you guys know, I'm trying my best to be an example to you guys that if I can be out there and within a 14-year window of marriage, be with the amount of women that I was with, and now I am happy and at peace, I believe that the same benefits that Sean is receiving, I'm receiving in life, a lot of you guys are going to be receiving those same benefits. So just because you cheated, man, don't put yourself down, including you ladies. Don't put yourself down because a man cheated on you or you were with a guy like me, I was in the past. There is life after cheating, just like there's life after divorce.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I appreciate that shout out, man. It's so encouraging to get those words from your brother, and because I know that you really mean it. And as I said, I truly apologize for the mistake that I made as far as not fully charging my computer, but I did come back strong. As you can see, I don't give up that easy. But
and like that's where I learned it from.
This is the first episode of the Confessional. I promise you, going forward, that I will be fully charged and ready for whatever conversation and however it leads, as long as we are learning something and improving as individuals. That is the entire purpose of This Could Get Ugly. That is the entire purpose of the Confessional. That is the entire purpose for me just as an individual. So I appreciate your fam for joining. I appreciate my fam for listening. And, you know, I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. The next confessional will be probably in 2 weeks. I have a guest. She won't be available for 2 weeks. I'm trying to rotate. I had 2 men at first. Now I'm trying to do 2 women, but I'll keep you abreast to what's going on by spreading the word on social media. And Dre, I truly appreciate you coming on and sharing your experiences. And like I said, you're my brother for life, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate being here. Make sure you guys subscribe to This Could Get Ugly podcast. Do not leave here tonight, guys, without subscribing. You know how we do. We support each other. Men supporting men. Shout out to my brother AMSM in regards to that. We support each other. We are a family unit because we already know we ain't got nobody but us.
Right.
We ain't got no movies and no books that support each other. So men, we got to support men. And shout out to all you ladies out there that support men that are trying to turn the ship and do the right thing.
Yeah.
So thank you, ladies, for supporting us as well. But guys, make sure you support Sean with super chats, on the PayPal, as well as support Sean's channel on the Cash App. Really simple to do. Appreciate you guys being here. This has been fun. This has been great, and I'm glad I got a chance to say some things that support what Kevin Samuels was saying and what you and I have talked about for years about the value of going to get counseling. It is important to know to thyself be true.
Yeah.
To know you. Even knowing you can help. You may not get all the answers you need in counseling, but at least in counseling, you start the process of getting to know you. And that helps out, at least me. I can at least say this, Sean. Getting counseling, getting to know me, helped me know what type of cheater I was. And know what type of so if I ever got off into it, how bad it would be. Now I know the end results.
Right.
In other words, now I know in advance, Andre, you don't want to start this because before I didn't have a because, and now I do.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
You, brother.
It's all about accountability with us. And
yeah,
that's what our friendship and our brotherhood has been all about. For those who are unaware, I have a live stream on Wednesday. We are currently in the middle of an arc, and it's about men. It's centered around men right now. So you might want to join in. The first 2 episodes, or the first 3 episodes, we talked about just the costume of the alpha male. Then we talked about how provision is not love, and I believe the last episode we talked about how society tells us letting our woman see us weak is a hindrance, which is just the total bullshit. So, you know, that's what this show is all about, just debunking patterns and getting back to what really matters, which is building strong families and building strong foundations. And I can't wait to get an invite to Andre and Andrea Love Crossing Borders. I'll definitely accept that invite with grace, my friend.
Oh yeah. Now that you're officially back, you at home. You know, everything that we've built is built upon the things that you have taught me, brother. And before you go, man, show the all the way to the bottom. You got AMSM, a man supporting men. Show his comment. He says, Andre, he said, I follow him on IG. He said, if he needs further exposure, which we all need, nobody can grow on YouTube or any social media platform alone. He can add me as a collaborator. He said, I'm trying to run my page like a world star. And yes, I can say a man supporting men does allow your content to blow up. One of the videos he did with us, a small clip, just went viral a couple weeks ago. So shout out to him. He does support.
Hey, listen, man, I appreciate that. I would definitely, if you do follow me on IG, I'm going to make it my business as soon as we get off this podcast to go follow you back and add you as a collaborator on anything that I put out there. Clips will be coming out this week of this show because I really feel like it was a great show and an informative show. into the minds of men and former cheaters, and why some men probably still do the same. So yeah, I appreciate that, brother, and I definitely would take advantage of that. And
All
shout
right.
out to the new subscribers. You're in for a ride.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
for
sir.
sure. Yeah. So I appreciate you, man, and we're going to end the show on that. Much love. Have a good night. Appreciate you.
All right, gentlemen.